strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bulldog here with another first look video, but this time not just for a new blockchain game, but for a new blockchain studio. Azer Games really grabbed my attention, really intrigued me when I saw that this is founded by Mark Otero, who is the same person who founded Capital Games. So anybody who's just kind of joined this channel within the last year or so might not be familiar with that name. Capital Games might not mean much to you. But if you've been following my channel since before I started covering Splinterlands, you absolutely know who Capital Games is. Capital Games is the studio that created Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That is is a hugely successful mobile game, has brought in billions of dollars in revenue, and is the game that I first created a YouTube channel for. That's the game I covered for several years, played that game for 5 years, however long it's been, and absolutely love the game before moving over to blockchain gaming. Had some interesting run-ins with Capital Games. That was actually after Mark Otero left. Let's go click over here so you can kind of see him. Talks about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes here. But when I saw that the founder of Capital Games is diving into blockchain, I absolutely had to go take a look. And you know what? I'm very impressed by what I'm seeing here. They've already raised like over $15 million. They've got what looks like a pretty good team, a pretty good setup. They are very serious about this, and I think this is going to go very well. And I've talked about before how Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is really set up perfect for the blockchain. It's a collectible RPG game that would fit perfectly on blockchain. Now, obviously, they're not going to move that game over to blockchain. It's very successful as it is. But that type of setup could do very, very well, and I think we're going to see that here. Their first game is going to be Legions and Legends. We'll actually dive into that a little bit deeper. They've got their own website. We'll go to that website here in just a second. But before we leave, let's go to their NFTs, because they are going to be releasing a Genesis collection of NFTs, and what they're calling, so they've got their PFPs, which in this case is not just a profile pic, but a Play Forever Pass. I kind of like that name there, the Play Forever Pass, that they will be releasing later this summer. That's going to provide advantages and provide rewards in all of their future upcoming games, anything that they create. So it's going to be interesting to see what the costs are there. We don't have a lot of information in this first look video. We flat out don't have a lot of information yet. We're just kind of taking a brief overview look here, and again, because it was the founder of Capital Games, I had to do a video on this. I absolutely had to do a video on this. So we're doing it a little bit earlier than we normally would, but I still want to dive in here. So they will have this Genesis collection next summer. I'll keep you guys updated on that, and when we'll take a look at prices and whether we think it's going to be worth purchasing. That will be on the Ethereum network. So let's go over to the actual game, Legions and Legends. And again, I'll put the links down below. You can come to their website. We don't know a whole lot about it, but game overview right here. This is gonna sound familiar for anybody who played Galaxy of Heroes. Is a collectible and combat RPG. It's definitely not the same thing. It's not going to be like a reskin of that game or anything like that. It's certainly got some unique combat mechanisms, and won't be exactly the same, but they've said it's kind of along that same format, and that format can really work well for blockchain. So again, too early to judge it, but I'm excited what they're bringing here. It's set in a galaxy where magic and technology collide. So even looking at some of the artwork and thing, it looks like a mix of your medieval fantasy with sci-fi, and those are two genres that I absolutely love. So combining them together sounds absolutely great. I'm excited about it. I haven't really read through the lore, but they've even got some basic lore started. and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, no gameplay to actually look at yet. Not too much to really dive into. We can scroll through here. Craft massive behemoths. These are going to be kind of some very powerful beasts here that you're going to have to craft and get like the gear for and things like that. So again, we don't know exact mechanisms or anything, but I am absolutely excited about this project. I'm very, very excited. I know some of you, I've got to address the major question, right? I've had some run-ins with CG. CG, despite Galaxy of Heroes being extremely successful, it has received a lot of criticism for being very predatory with the loot boxes, being very, very pay to win, those types of things. Kind of all those bad things you hear about your freemium loot box pay to win games. Galaxy of Heroes is kind of like the poster child for that a little bit, right? So just because that's how Mark Otero left Capital Games kind of well before all of that started. I got banned by Capital Games for making a video talking about how cheating was a problem, and they didn't like that video. That was a whole separate story. So I've had a run-in with Capital Games. That was not involved. He was not involved with any of that or anything like that. Obviously that didn't come from all the higher ups or anything like that. So I have no bad blood here or anything like that. I'm excited about the project. They've said that it's not going to be pay to win heavy. They've said that there's not going to be, because it's a blockchain, they don't want there to be a lot of power creep. One of the things Capital Games has had a ton of problems with Galaxy of Heroes is balancing gameplay and power creep and things like that. And I watched one of their AMAs, and they talked about how with blockchain gaming, it has to be balanced from the very start. You don't want people buying products and things like that that people might even be looking at as investments that then become less powerful down the road. When you add new things, they want to augment the existing things or provide new strategies without necessarily just having constant power creep that makes the early purchases obsolete as you continue on. So they want to focus very strongly on balancing the game from the very start and keeping it balanced, making it a fun game to play. And listening to that AMA, I loved what I heard. Like they even talked about how it was going to be more of the NFTs were going to be more of a focus than their token. They are going to have a token, and that is going to play a role, but it's more about collecting the NFTs and playing to gain NFTs rather than playing to earn a token, as that type of play to earn. Playing to earn a token that you can sell. It's about collecting these NFTs. And everything that I've heard, all the AMA that I've looked at, I've talked to a few people on the team, that type of thing. I like what I hear. Now, again, just because people say one thing in development doesn't mean that's always what ends up in production. It's very, very early to try and evaluate this game, so I'm certainly not making any recommendations yet. I just had to make a video on it because it's got that Capital Games, because it's got that Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes link, and because it's a game that I legit am very interested in and am going to be following along, because I do like that strategy collectible style. I really do like that. So it's a game I'm certainly going to be tracking. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and let me know what are your thoughts. I am extremely interested. I always say I'm interested, but I am absolutely interested to read the comments and see, particularly those of you who played Galaxy of Heroes and have followed me over to the blockchain, that have these same ties, the same background that I do. What are your thoughts on someone from Capital Games getting into blockchain and going that way? I know there's going to be a big mix, because I certainly I can already see the comments coming in, and some of the praises and some of the complaints as well, as we certainly had a love-hate relationship with Galaxy of Heroes. So we'll see, but I'm certainly intrigued, absolutely intrigued, and I can't wait to see more. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you around.